Hello and welcome to this match preview for our upcoming game at St Mary's Stadium against West Brom. Now, if you want to watch like a review for the Millwall game, yeah, it'll be up here somewhere if you want to watch it. But let's get straight into this. It's a big game. Obviously, I think the last time we were playing against a team in the top six was Preston. And obviously that game ended 2-2. Wasn't the greatest performance. Lucky last minute goal, own goal. Gave us a point. Since then, win against Birmingham, win against Millwall, obviously late on again. I think that's 3 away games in a row where we've got points in the last 2-3 minutes of a game. So we've definitely got clutch moments for sure. But going into this game, West Brom in good form as well. Now, obviously, when we played Preston, they were in a bit of dodgy form. Had only won maybe 1-6 or something like that. West Brom, on the other hand, 3 in a row. So technically, they're in kind of not really better form than us, but sort of similar, you could say. 1 loss in their last 5, 3 wins in their last 5. Obviously, for us, 3 wins in the last 5 as well. But we are unbeaten for 7. Or is it 8? Something 7 or 8. One of the two. So we're definitely starting to click a bit more. And what I would say about the Millwall game especially was we started poor. First half was not good. I think we can all agree upon that. Second half, completely different, completely dominant. But dominant in a different way. In the first half, you could say, oh, we had 70% possession or whatever. Oh, we were dominant technically, I guess, because we had all the ball. And Millwall really only created 1 chance, and they should have scored that chance, really. But in the second half, we actually created a lot more. We were more, I wouldn't say clinical, but more assertive in the final third. The decision-making was a lot better. And of course, obviously getting the goal as well. But we created a lot more chances in that second half because I guess, from what I've heard, obviously I wasn't in the room at halftime, unfortunately, that Russell Martin told them exactly how we could beat them. And it worked. So for me, that's a bit of Russell Martin learning as well as knowing, I guess, as people say a lot of the time, no one's ever had a plan B at Southampton, right? You had Ralph, who did have a plan B, it just didn't work, but everyone said he didn't have a plan B. Obviously, Nathan Jones, he didn't even have a plan A. Sellers didn't even write up a plan. So obviously, Russell Martin, you can say sort of as a B plan, not so much like, oh, change system. Oh, we're going to play 3 at the back or whatever. It's more changing the sort of the tempo and the purpose of the passing and whatnot, and opening gaps, probably slight tweaks to player instructions, whatnot. So yeah, Russell Martin's improving, and I think we are improving at the same time. And I think that's what you get with a younger manager. Obviously, not all young managers are going to work, right? But I think with Russell Martin, I feel like he learns pretty quickly. And I feel like we've got an established 11 now, as you would expect. I mean, Stevens obviously coming back. He may break into that first 11. But I think the only real question mark is Manning and Bree, which we'll touch on later. But really, other than that, the starting 11 is the starting 11. I think it'll be the same when it can be. Obviously, when there's midweeks, rotation will be available. But obviously, with a week between our games, most likely will be majority the same 11, I would say, from Millwall, and majority the same 11 from Birmingham as well. So yeah, let's jump into it. Let's just jump into look at the table, I guess, first. Obviously, West Brom right up our ass. 1 point behind us, obviously in good form as we mentioned earlier, and obviously we're in good form as well. So really, on paper, it should be a bloody good game. Knowing that nil or draw, I can't say nil or draw. I don't think that's possible with us. But with 25 goals conceded in 15, I mean, that's pretty shit. 2 clean sheets this season. Obviously, we got 1 last week against Millwall. Hopefully, we can start to be more defensively secure, but obviously time will tell. But 25 and 15, you compare it to the teams around us. You've got, well, we'll ignore the top 2 because they're a bit further ahead of us. But Leeds, 15 conceded, West Brom 15 conceded, Preston have 23, and Cardiff have 16, right? So those are sort of the teams around us, and our defensive record is not good at all compared to theirs. But attacking-wise, basically the same. I mean, West Brom's got the same amount of goals, Preston a couple off, Cardiff a couple off, Leeds are the same. So clearly, what we need to do to get promoted, or at least finish in the top 4, top 3, is to improve defensively. And obviously with Stevens out, maybe he comes back and it's a whole different team, who knows. But against Millwall, we were defensively solid in that second half. I think first half we definitely had a few issues, but I think that was down to more poor performance with the ball, really. The display with the ball was so dull. Pass sideways, backwards. As I said last season, all we do is pass sideways and backwards. And I think it was that first half that was poor, and then second half obviously changing it. So hopefully we see the second half for the whole 90 minutes, this game against West Brom. But we have been playing better at home. Away from home, we've been a bit dodgy. I mean, Hull City was a dodgy one, Stoke was a dodgy one, Preston was a dodgy one, and Millwall, yes, I think that was probably the best performance out of the four in that second half especially. But again, we scored late on and just won the game. And at home, been a bit more cruisy, right? We've had the Leeds result. Obviously, Rotherham, we played brilliant, but drew. Obviously, cruising past Birmingham. So it'll be interesting to see how we go. At home, we're normally better. So I'm banking on us winning. I'm just going to say that early doors. But yeah, let's jump into the preferred lineup. Obviously, big Gavin goal. 2 clean sheets this season. Get in, son. He didn't really have to do anything against Millwall. I mean, I think he had to make like one save, but it wasn't exactly like, oh, that was definitely going in sort of save. And also, for their chance of the crossbar, he had no hope in hell of ever saving that. So you can't really blame him for anything like that. But he didn't really do much, didn't need to do much, and I think that's down to the second half defensive work, especially when the game's tiring. You're expecting maybe a mistake in the defence, maybe a stake in possession from us, but there wasn't really any, so that's pretty good. But yeah, obviously Gavin in goal, right back, obviously the GOAT, Kyle Walker-Peters, who should not be in this division because he's too bloody good. I still to this day do not understand why no Premier League team signed him. He wouldn't exactly cost 50 mil, so absolute weirdness on that one. Centre-back pairing, again, going to be the same. Harwood Balaz, obviously, and then Benderak. And again, as I said, the only people person, not Mason Holgate, that could maybe break into that back four, well, probably will because he's captain, would be Stevens. But his fitness-wise, I'm not sure how close he is. Probably after the next international break, which is coming up, him and Ross Stewart should probably be in the team. Maybe not starting, but, on the bench maybe. And then left back is the interesting one, right? So obviously we have Ryan Manning, who's played majority of our games this season. And I think we can all tell defensively he's a bit dodgy, right? Defensively a bit dodgy. On the ball seems fine. Sometimes is a bit giveaway with the ball. Attacking wise seems all right, but defensively he is a bit dodgy. Now, a lot of people were wanting Manning gone out of the team. And obviously you wouldn't exactly put Bree in there as your starting left back. But he has done. And a game against Preston, he was okay. He wasn't amazing. Birmingham didn't see it, but apparently played well. And against Millwall, I think it was pretty solid. I think when Manning came on, it was a bit, ooh. And I think what happens is the way Russell Martin wants to be in position is more of a 3 at the back. So you have your Walker-Peters, who's obviously brilliant going forward. He pushes high forward. Bree sort of slots in as a 3. And I think that works better when you have the sort of Bree who can play as a centre-back, because Manning, as I've said, defensively is shit. Right, let's just say how it is. He's like Perot, but yeah, he's just like Perot. He's basically the same player. But yeah, so I reckon we'll start Bree. I would prefer to probably start Bree. I think he's been more defensively solid. He's more of a defensive fullback, if you get what I mean. More defensive, he's not like Kyle Walker-Peters who's going to run forward and create chances, beat players, score goals, as he has been doing recently. But yeah, I'd say Bree left back, defensive mid, obviously Flynn Downs. I mean, Shay Charles, he's obviously got talent, he's obviously got potential, but I think Flynn Downs is a much better player, so he has to play. Centre mids of Smallbone, obviously, we have no other option really, unless you want to play Shay Charles there or play Stuart Armstrong there, which you're not going to. So obviously Smallbone's in, and then obviously Alcaraz as the 10. He has his days. I think in a game where against West Brom, I think will be a bit more open, because obviously West Brom won't come here and sit back. I wouldn't say so. They'll obviously be more cautious. Obviously, you're away from home, that's natural, but they're not going to be like a Rotherham who just pack the box, right? West Brom are going to come here and try to win. So I feel like there will be spaces for Alcaraz to sort of produce his magic. So obviously Alcaraz has to play. Front three, pretty standard. Suleiman on the left, obviously he's our best attacker. I'm just going to say it as it's not even close. He beats players for fun and he creates chances for fun. And I mean, in reality, maybe a Ross Stewart when he's fit, may be able to latch onto the balls that Sulemana produces, because the balls into the box are pretty good. I mean, the 45s are good, the balls across goal, and the little dinks to the back post. Obviously, Adam Armstrong is not going to win a header, right? He's just not. But a Ross Stewart definitely could. So maybe when Ross Stewart's in, we'll see more sort of link up between him and Sulemana, but obviously Ross Stewart's not fit. Not fit to probably... I mean, maybe he'll be on the bench. I'm not sure about that. I know he's been training. He played in the under-21s. I don't know if he's fit enough for the bench. Maybe, as I said, after international break, he may be back. But then, obviously, right wing, Stuart Armstrong, obviously. I think what he provides is sort of... He can sort of drift into the midfield role, whether that's a centre mid or a 10. And obviously, he can drift wide. Sulemana can't do that. Like, he's just a standard winger. He's a standard direct, pacey winger who will beat players. And I feel like that's the sort of balance. Like, he's sort of creating a team that can shift easy, right? So you've got Bree at left back who can shift into centre back. You've got Walker Peters who can easily push forward. You've got Stuart Armstrong who can sort of drop in. And I feel like that works pretty well, honestly. And I think that's the reason he sort of found his team, because it's starting to click like that. So obviously Stuart Armstrong's in, and then obviously you're going to play Adam Armstrong. You're not going to play Super Seku, because even though Nathan Jones said he's the best finisher at the club last season and he's can hold the ball up well, even though the greatest in Europe, greatest manager in Europe, best in Europe, has said that, doesn't mean it's true. So, Sekou Mara is obviously not going to play. Che Adams is obviously not going to play. He'll be off the bench. And obviously Ross Stewart, who knows if he's fit for even the bench. So, obviously, it will be he's vice-captain, but captain at the moment, Adam Armstrong, who obviously will start. Adam Armstrong can definitely ghost in games. He's definitely done that a few times. But obviously he got an assist for the Millwall goal, so fair enough. But yeah, we don't really have many options up there. Che Adams, I think, will probably leave in January. I wouldn't be surprised. And I think Ross Stewart will sort of take his role. Sekou Mara will be the sort of, fuck me, we need someone else sort of role. So yeah, that will be the team. I think it's pretty much everyone's team that you'd expect to put. Maybe like one change, maybe. But I don't see that being really that far off. I think that will be exactly what the team is. I don't see, people always say don't change a winning team, and you don't really need to when you have a week's break between games and no fresh injuries. So you don't really need to change the team. The only time you need to change team, midweeks, right? Midweeks or injuries or whatever. So yeah, that will be the team. Now moving on to predictions. Obviously, I don't think I'll ever predict us to get a clean sheet until we get at least 5 in a row. I just don't feel confident that this defence or Bazunu and goal will be able to keep out anyone forever, basically. We've had 2 clean sheets in 15. Not exactly amazing. And they're both away from home, funnily enough. So, no clean sheets at home yet. Maybe not today, but you know what I mean, like this week is the day it could happen. But West Brom scored many goals as us. We concede many more goals than them, so I can't say that we're going to get a clean sheet. So I'm not going to predict a clean sheet. But I do... it's difficult. Because you want to back Southampton because obviously 8 unbeaten, good wins at home. But then, West Brom, 3 in a row. It's not as if they're shit. It's not as if they're struggling. They're clearly cooking something. So it's hard to predict. I want to back us, but I feel like I'm not going to. I'm going to go for a draw because I generally feel West Brom are a good side and they're going to cause us a lot of issues on the counter-attack because obviously they're going to counter. We are a possession and base team. You're always going to get counted on. So I'm guessing West Brom will set up for a counter. They're not going to park the bus, as I said, but they're definitely going to hit us on the counter with speed and pace. That's the same thing, but you know what I mean. So it's not going to be easy for our defenders, but I'll go 2-2. I think we'll score more than 1, and I think we'll concede more than 1. Maybe not a 4-4 like the Norwich game, but I'll go for a 2-2 draw. I think that's fair on West Brom as well, because when you're supporting a team and they're in form, you're always going to back them, right? Everyone's going to go, we'll smash these guys. Oh, at home we'll smash these guys. But in reality, that's not exactly true, is it? A lot of the time when you're in form, Leeds came to St Mary's and we were shit. We lost 4 in a row. Leeds came in, we spanked them. So it's not as if a team can just be in good form and then not lose a game, right? You've got to realise that West Brom are a good side. They're in 5th for a reason. They're 1 point behind us for a reason. They've got a better defensive record than us for a reason. They've got the same attacking record than us for a reason, right? They are arguably someone could take that as them being better than us. Just saying. But yeah, so I'll go for a 2-2 draw. Let me know your predictions, your team selections that you would like to see, if there's any changes that you'd like to see personnel brought on. Also, now that I've just thought about it, Amoameu is nowhere to be seen. Is he alive? Is he alive still? Did he die? Did he pass away without knowing? What has happened to him? I know Ryan Fraser's making, obviously, good impacts off the bench. He scored 2 late goals to win us games, which is always amazing. But, I mean, Amoameu was pretty standout substitution earlier on in the season when we needed a bit of spark and a bit of flair. And it's not as if he looked out of his depth. I mean, most of the time he was rinsing his fullback. When he started that one game against someone, I can't remember, QPR was it maybe? He didn't look very good. And that's fair enough. You know, he is 17 or 16, so, you know, he's not going to be amazing 24/7 at this age. But I feel like he started that game, he got taken off, and then never to be seen again. I'm pretty sure he's always on the bench but never used. So I'd like to see him used a bit more. He is probably the youngster that we have that, and I mean that from the youth academy, not because obviously Alcaraz is young, blah, blah, blah. But I was talking more about the youth academy youngsters. Obviously, Ballard's out on loan, and he was probably him and Dibbling and Amoameu are the 3 that I would think of that would sort of be an impact. Ballard's on loan, Dibbling doesn't exist, and neither does Amoameu anymore. So I'd like to see Amoameu more. As I said, he's very good on the ball, can beat players, can be that sort of extra flair, but maybe the reason he's not involved as much because Sulemana's now back. So when Sulemana comes off, Edozie comes on, and you'd probably want Edozie over Amoameu. It's difficult, you know. That's thinking for the manager. That's his fucking issue, you know. But I'd like to see him more. But who knows? We'll see what happens for the rest of the season. Obviously, we've still got 30 plus games left, so a lot can happen. But that's going to be the video. That's going to be the preview. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll obviously be live for the watch along, 4 a.m. Can't wait. Exciting stuff. As you can see, I can't contain the excitement. So yeah, I'll see you boys then. Obviously, give me your predictions, whatnot. There'll be a community post, if I remember, because I always forget, where you can predict the result. But that's going to be it for this video. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one.